can see that. Alright, so sound test. Alright, so that sounds pretty good. Alright, so that should be pretty good. And this is for the next thing to be covered on this parody, The Horrors of a Regular Camp, made by me back in 2021. It was originally supposed to be released yesterday, but I hadn't had the script fully written, so I had to delay it to today. I just got finished writing the script with 2 hours 10 minutes left in the day, so I'll have to delay it again to tomorrow, and it'll definitely be tomorrow this time. Yeah. So right here I have the parody's script. So basically, if you're here right now, you're basically gonna be hear me. You're basically just gonna get the earliest possible access before I eventually let out the early access and then premiere the actual thing a bit later. Alright. So, with all this out of the way, let me just get some time so I can see approximately how long this will be. So, let's go. I'd have to answer yes. Part of the reason this is being covered is because this is one of the few GGF 871 films I have yet to cover. The other reason is because it's really not that deadly of a film. Shocker for me. Sure, yes, it does have a fair quantity, and it is a far cry from your Deadvilles, Untitled Meme movies, and Breakouts. That's mainly because of its straightforward nature. Some are very direct, some are bodies, and some are told in campfire tales. It follows just at their camp and has some telling tales seeking for... yeah... and doing random stuff around the place. In the background, there's a force lurking in the place's caves, but you shouldn't take it seriously since he only pops up at the beginning and in the end. But you shouldn't take it seriously since he only pops up at the beginning. But you shouldn't take it seriously since he only pops up at the beginning and at the end. Horrors was released, like I said, in 2021, right in the middle of the GGF 871 film prime. Sure, 2023 was like that too, but very separate and not had a consistent quality until Breakout 4. 2021 had an okay quality of everything, and furthermore, consistently high counts. Horrors doesn't fall into the high count category, but it still has some kills to it. Let's see how many and get to them. Alright, that's the intro, and we're looking at that being a minute and 30 seconds. God. The actual meat of this. The movie begins on the routes to the cave, where a copyrighted masked man is starting our account, promisingly. 6 spelunkers spellverance when Vason Jorges kills them all, either by accident, purposely, or in a way that says, whoa! Then he disappears. Daytime must have struck. It's for sure a mystery, but I'd be more worried about that bloody, slidey title card! That first-person POV is revealed, and her name is Just. Since this came out in March of 2021, it was before the April Gender Switcher protocol. Just makes her way around the camp and back into the cave. Are you serious? Exploring this right after 6 deaths is weird, but thankfully Vason has liquefied himself. At the tent, a baking is making his life a living hell, obliviously. The cabins aren't much better, with more people burning themselves alive, but not to death. Just proclaims horror movie time and heads back to the cavern and sees what Just proclaims horror movie time and heads back to the cavern and see what will give General Radcliffe a Lord Farquaad. Same goes for the cabins. A small snap prevails, and there are some questions about what to do. So the same antics prevail, and 12 minutes in, there's a hateable factor. Great! Luckily it doesn't come up much, but it's still there, and I viciously remembered that. Skipping over all of that when it happens. Yes, please be happy. Yes, please just be happy you're napping. They head outside and see people confuse Mexico with Puerto Rico. Huh, weird. Just asks when the killer is coming in and has that insurance when a body is found in lake water. Drowning, I guess? That way, just makes a shortcut back to the cabins and god damn it! I guess Miles Morales fan Jaden sniffing viciously is better. After a joking confession and a trip to the lake again, the film gets gay. That's brief. Anyways, here's some... Anyways, here's these stories told by the other campers, like this one by a 2021 Among Us cosplayer. It's about a basement that creeped him out, so he avoided it. One night he stayed up to play some video games when he heard what sounded like his dad downstairs. He had some errands, so it must have been stuff he heard. A few minutes later, screaming was heard, so it was serious. A locked closet led to a monster reveal and an outside slumber. When awakened, the cops were there, and his real father was found ripped apart. My God! Wow, that's brutal without visuals. It traumatizes him, and that's fair. The next story rose up is about two women and one dude going camping. Cool. Oh, there's something there in the woods. A fox that goes into a fox-masked female. She pulls a father and rips all three apart. Less brutal in the mind, though. Oh my God, I'm speedrunning through this. Then it's time for Jess's story. It's about three more people, all boys, fighting after two girls. Predictably for 2021 GGF, the girls were together. To make sure these boys wouldn't annoy them anymore, they did what Jason did in 2009 and burnt all three of them while they were sleeping. Not sure what I was trying to cook with that one. Oh, looks like they blamed it on Jason. Not sure which one. Another person tells her story about someone who was traumatized, but they're interrupted before the cooling begins. And then just visits his cabin and, yep, this again. At least this guy talks about the Kool-Aid loving basementers and the time he was a rat. Sometime, whether in the basement Kool-Aid or the rat life arcs, they worked at Disneyland but accidentally ate a kid there. I know these are just stories, but they're fun, okay? It's a rainy day about camp, so sleeping is prime for a good life here. And then, wait, what? That guy just resets? I'm not counting that here. Just finds the place's theater presentation screen with nothing playing. Over at the tents, the Kool-Aid rat and others and wetting them. Over at the tents, the Kool-Aid rat and others are wetting themselves and take the opportunity to reset, also not being added. The storm's intense, and now it's over. Okay, that means fires can rage campfully and burn people. This player finds out the hard way how fatal that can be. Oh shoot, just a rematch too! That's an appropriate time to tell stories, but the others don't exactly think so. Oh, one burns to death here too. It gets just so mad they proclaim a quote-unquote killing spree. I'll only count Sasuya, I don't know, since they're the only one to respond to the impalement, I guess. It goes absolutely nowhere and only lengthens the movie. Just does die in this spree sequence, but only after burning themselves to death for the second time in 10 minutes. Oh my God, this one's short. Thankfully, it puts an end to the killing spree. Without one certain area being explored here, just goes on a mountain hike. It's a fairly easy adventure until higher up when snowballs barrel down. Places to avoid them don't matter in the end, and they get pummeled down hard. It leads them to someone sitting on a chair, hanging above the fire until their chair goes away. At least the invisible chair leads the sitter away. That thing leads the boys into their cabin for 66 minutes in nap time. Just, you've been napping for 3 minutes. Get up 69 minutes in. Oh my God. I was rushing through this one. Jesus Christ. The camp is getting fully ridiculous as someone has had a face-in encounter and some with questionable career paths. Much kind of like us, who just let suss out the outside world. The people at the cabins have also figured out that their Roblox shirt IDs have failed them, or they could debate about which part of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure has the best intro. What about the one with some characters from popular media, like Emmett here from the Lego Movie? They're such big fans of a canned Lego friend, 2 people burned themselves to death because of it. While Just stupidly tries to initiate admin commands, 2 more bodies found by Shrek's place, where someone once told him. Just takes a swim and finds a super secret cave in the lake. It leads them to paradise, but they don't like that and they head back to the others. Nighttime is officially here, and since bodies started stacking, the campers have started to bunker down in their tents. They have a good reason, since another body was found in the outhouse. Just gets their nightly sleep for at least 30 full seconds and heads over to the cave. What? What? Uh, uh, Corey-san. Corey-san, you're getting on the parody at dude, Corey-san, you're getting an appearance on the parody at the end of the year, dude. Oh yeah, should have said this. December 31st, you're getting the You're Dead parody. Alright, good. I forgot where I was. I'll have to check back. That's because of it. Or someone once told the hearing since bodies started stacking, and since another body was found into the cave. Alright, found where it was. Just gets your nightly sleep in for at least 30 full seconds and heads over to the cave where the movie's finale will take place. It's during full Vason hours too. Good for him, since he ensures the addition of Just and 2 others with him onto the list. They head back to the cave where the group is still there. Vason had gotten most of them, and someone lets out the number 6. Since we saw 3 of them die, I'll be obligated to add these other 3 to the list. No, it's okay. It's okay. Slender Man joins the club and just has the idea of escaping the cave, by some means, when Vason comes and preys on the camping. Just explores a bit more and we get a bit of lore. He can see the campers, somehow because of something. The group gets split up for a few seconds before Just meets back up. The group gets split up for a few seconds before Just meets back up with them at some blood. It could be all that remains of a previous spelunker. After a wild suggestion of what else it could be, they move on to a fork in the path. They go to the left and find Vason, back for more for his list. Down one path, he follows Oak, a prominent person in this finale. Right next to the blood, she dies due to Vason. That's not all he has either, as Douglas and Slenderman die right after. Just barely makes it out. The experience was terrifying and they get back to the cabins. Apparently the other 2 died, and I'll add them. Vason's pretty fatal, dude. For some reason, they go back in and die immediately. What were you expecting? Another trip down doesn't spell life for even more people, as Twisted Guns here is killed by the VJ Man. They, Dude Jr., and Douglas all run out of the caves, but only Douglas and Just make it alive. Dude Jr. is left behind and is killed by Vason. It's confirmed through chat when Just goes back in. Are you kidding me? Yeah, you go in and get killed by his royalty-free parody name. They remark that the night's events were weird at the tent, and oh, the movie ends right there. Okay. Let's get to the numbers, I guess. 40 people died in the horrors of a regular camp. The victims included 29 men, 7 women, and 4 unknowns. That gives an almost 3-to-1 ratio of campfire dudes. We've actually had a parody before with 40 victims, all the way back to the original parody for the Renegade in 2020. With a runtime of 98 minutes, that left us with a kill on average every 2.45 minutes. I'll give Amethyst Flamethrower to 6 idiots at the beginning. It sets a nice mood, and is also funny. Fun fact, that opening was shot after the rest of the film. That's why Dude Jr. comes back at the end. Broken Pistol can be a whole lot of other stuff, so let's give it to the 3 others in the group, only added if we obey the Dude Bro statute of 2022. And that's it. The Horrors of a Regular Camp was released in 2021, and although sequel proposals were made... And that's it. The Horrors of a Regular Camp was released in 2021, and although sequel proposals were planned throughout the year, none were made. The last we've seen of this series is in the credits of Flick Flick 5. If we ever get a sequel, we'll never know, and until we do, I made this film, and this has been the parody. Thanks a lot for watching this parody. I actually wrote like 99.9% of this episode. Expect to see that more often, especially with GGF871 media. It would be easier to sludge through everything this way. Also, if you haven't checked the community tab, the first episode of 2024 would be Danganronpa the animation. It should be over 50 minutes, so that's 2 years in a row where the first parody year is like an hour long. Thanks for watching. Jeez. Alright, so we're looking at about 11 to 12 minutes. The time I have on the stopwatch says 13:23, but that's definitely inflated. So yeah. So that's all I was planning to do here, just record this. What is the ever 0.1%? I actually did what I usually do for these and just already have like 21 seconds of this, 21.65 seconds of this recorded. So like that's the ever 0.01% of this. It's actually like 3% of it, so I wrote the other 97% of it. If we do the math. It's actually like 3% of it, so I wrote the other 97% of it. If we do the math. So yeah. Oh, and then there's the requisite moment with all the stuff in the chat just multiplies by a factor of 48. That's all I was here to do. I haven't done a Q&A stream in a while. Watch out for that on Thursday. So, yeah, thanks for coming to the recording. Uh, uh, yeah, let me just. All right, so I should be. Oh no. All right, so I should be back on Thursday with a Q&A stream. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for coming. Whew.